Hey guys, and thanks for coming back to our channel, Move Up with Mike, michaelglass.com. Let's go ahead and get started. We always like to start off with our disclaimers, and our disclaimer simply says, do you trade at your own risk? We're here for educational and informational purposes. Anything you do is solely your own responsibility. This is our weekend report where we look at the economic calendar and we look at some charts to identify some key uh, support and resistance, supply and demand zones, whatever word you want to use. We'll also take a look at gold and crude and see how they've done. And finally, we always have a little education spotlight at the end. As always, we like to start off with a little bit of inspirational quotes. And here we have Margaret Bernardo, who says, being rich is having money, but being wealthy is having time. And again, I would like to think that's why we're all here, why we're out here trying to find ways to create passive income, to I won't say master the stock market, but define our edge in the stock market. It's because we want to have time. I was talking to a fellow trader, and he was basically asking, why do I stop at 11:30? And my thing was, could I make more money, or could I, take advantage or maximize my investing if I traded the whole day? I could, but then I might as well go back to teaching. You know, um, you know, if the goal was to do 9 to 5, even though it's 9 to 5 on my terms of doing what I want and what I love, um, it's not what I wanted. Started all of this to have time with family, have time with friends, have time with me. And so, that's why I'm here. And that's really kind of the focus of the channel: passive income, rich dad, poor dad. Um, and we'll talk more about that at the end. So let's take a look at the week that was. We can see for the most part, our three major indices all were up slightly for the week. And again, for those of you who have been paying attention, when you see that they're down 15 or 10%, well, they were down over 25 to 30%. But what's really important is look at the NASDAQ. It has creeped up to positive for the year. So the NASDAQ certainly is leading the market. And when you think about that, when we look at our FANG stocks, our leaders there of Amazon and Netflix really have driven the NASDAQ. Gold dropped very slightly for the week, but it's still up 10% for the year. Look at that inverse relationship between gold and the S&P. And then crude had a great week, 25% up, but it's still down 62% for the year. So, what are some key things to have this week? As I already mentioned, Nasdaq is positive for the year. The, we had our non-farm payroll report, so I'm saying it here. You can say it comes down in our economics report, but basically in the month of April, we lost 20 million jobs, and also on Thursday, our jobless claims showed that since basically COVID-19, we've lost over 30 million jobs. Nothing really important going on overseas. We did have some polite talk between the U.S. and China, which is important because last week, some of the EU countries were talking about levying a fine against China, and also Trump talked about levying a fine against China, and possibly implementing some more tariffs if he doesn't see China start to do some of the things that they agreed to do back in January as a part of Phase 2 of the trade deal. So the fact that there was some polite talk was certainly received well by the market. Nothing really positive coming out earnings wise this week, but there were some more positive news about treatments, not vaccines, but treatments. There were some more positive news that came out about treatments for the virus. And again, non-farm payroll, 20 million jobs lost over April, and our unemployment rate over 14%, which is the highest number basically since the Great Depression. The question is, why in the world is the Nasdaq positive and we were down, 25, 30%, and now we've cut that in half, if not more. Why is the market so positive when we lost 20 million jobs, when unemployment is at 14%? Why is the market so positive? And you could say that the market is perceiving that as many states began reopening last week and this week. Here in North Carolina, we began our phase one on Friday. Um, uh, they're hoping that these are temporary job losses and that people will come back to work. And as people come back to work, then they'll be able to buy things. But the other side of that, and I guess I could have put this in the corporate news, but we're having more companies filing for bankruptcy. Um, Now, could it be that they were already in trouble before COVID 19, and now COVID 19 just put the hammer on top of them? Sure. But retail, as they say, the new norm. Our lives are going to be changed. Our lives were changed after 9/11. Our lives are going to be changed after COVID 19. So going into next week, we don't really have any earnings that we're going to be looking for this week. Uh, For our gold traders, we got CPI on Tuesday. Wednesday, Fed Chairman Powell's going to talk, so he can send the market. Oh, and one other important thing is that basically the Fed rate went negative this week also. So they're really trying to give out money as best as they can. Once again, we have Java's claim on Thursday, and then consumer sentiment on Friday. Let's go ahead and pull up the charts and take a look. Okay, so here we are with S&P, and our new zone that we're looking at is our gap down zone. So that is basically 2970, and then we're looking at a 2800. We've accepted into this area. We're heading back up to that level, so that's certainly important. Um, and then of course we have a new zone that we can watch after that. But right now we're going to watch this gap down level and see how, as we approach it, you can see on April 30th we did get up to that level and then we sold off of there. So this is definitely a good inflection point to see what happens as we get up there. Let's go over to gold. Gold definitely in a descending wedge here. Certainly need to watch 1690, 1700. Really a nice little range here. You got your wicks down here, but I'm using this swing high up here also. As we all know, drawing your trend lines, support resistance lines, it's an art, it's a science, it's what you see. It doesn't always have to match with what I see. And then we got a downtrend line here. Definitely seeing some sideways action there. Of course, people, go to gold as a safety, a flight to safety, but certainly for the past month, we're seeing more sideways action. Again, that inverse relationship with the S&P 500. As the S&P 500 is going up, gold is going sideways. It's not necessarily pulling down, but it has not continued to move higher. Let's go to crude. Now, some people have rolled over for crude, so I am going to go over to the next contract. You can see the key price level here, 28. Certainly, you could put that in if you want. We have the gap level up here at 35, but 28 has. This is where we got up here on not got up. We moved up here on April 21st. We did it again here on May 5th. Some wicks here. So Wednesday and Thursday. Coming up into 28 and sold off from there. So 28 is certainly going to be a level that we want to watch next. Also, 23.75. You could really go all the way down to 23. So there's our new little $5 zone that we're in, and we have to see if we can get above a step above 28 to see if we can finally go chase this gap down price level. All right, what about our FANG stocks? Again, Nasdaq creeping its head positive for the year. Look at this Facebook chart. Very nice. So we talked about this level here. We're now accepting above that level. I would say now that we've been here for a couple of days, you could say that's acceptance, but we haven't really noticed volume has gone down. So we haven't put the volume that we want above this level, but we have closed several days, a couple of days above this level, so that's important. So now we got to watch basically 218.50. See what happens there as we accept into this level. Let's go to Apple. Apple also has accepted above here, but it's only been 1 day, and volume's okay for that 1 day. It's not necessarily low, but it's not one of these higher days. Um, this the close of the day for Apple matches up with the wick from this gap down here back in February 21st. That's important, but we haven't actually closed that gap yet. But that's certainly interesting. You could pretty much go ahead and go with the top here at 327. You can make an argument for 320 as for what's going to be the top potentially resistance, supply, whatever words you want to use. Um, that's definitely what I'm going to be watching there. I would like to see another day of acceptance above 305 just to kind of solidify that we have accepted into the zone, but definitely making moves on Apple. And then, of course, Amazon has already been uh, at the highs. You could argue, kind of like gold, just because Amazon and Netflix were leaders on this move up, so now they're kind of going sideways as the rest of the market is catching up. So we've accepted above 2185. We've got highs up here around 2470. We're kind of floating in the middle. To me, this is no man's land. I would like to either let it come back down here and test 2250 and see if the buyers come back again, or see what happens here once again back up to the high. Netflix, same type of story. Although it's closer to the top, but again, kind of no man's land. I would like to again see it come down here to 400, see if the buyers come back in, and again see what happens as it gets back up here to around 450. Finally, Google. Now Google is kind of lagging a little bit. We saw Facebook and Apple both above some of the gap down levels, so Google has a little bit more room to go to get up there, but it's in the middle of what I would call zone here. So I would like to see it come back down here, 1320, 1300, see if the buyers come back in before I look into getting back into Google. All right, so once again, for our Educator Spotlight, we're going to talk about the importance of order flow and footprint charts. Footprint is a trademark of Market Delta, although Market Delta has kind of gone out of business. But again, for those of us who've been trading for a while, and we were trading candlesticks, patterns, and technical analysis, and look at indicators, and whatever works for you works for you. However, again, as we've been talking about over the past couple of weeks, you have to be able to look inside of these candlesticks and see the numbers, and that will give you insight to the truly what's going on in this candlestick pattern that you're looking for, um, or it can show you the aggression or the exhaustion or the absorption to explain why those candlestick patterns happen. And you find that by being able to look at the numbers inside of the candles. And so I certainly recommend you guys check it out. And so you'll see this little thing kind of popping out now. And I'm recommending a group called Trading Research Group to teach you guys order flow, and that's the best. That alone says a lot because as you guys know, I've got hundreds of videos on YouTube, but after seeing what they do, I know that I can't do what they can do. So it's a disservice for me to try to put out the content that they're putting out. Now their content, it is a paid membership group, but their content is great. So Trading Research Group, check them out. If you really want to see inside the candles, be able to read the market, interpret the market at a deeper level, this is what I highly recommend. As you guys know, we are going to be putting together a trading room to help people pass their combines or gauntlets. As just to kind of show you a little bit here, hold on one second. So again, you might be saying, why should you come out and hang with me for your top step or your gauntlet? Here is me passing this the pro funded account for top step, which means I pass both combines, combine one, combine two. I chose to do the funded account for the pro, which means you had to make $5,000, and then they fund your account with $5,000, and you can kind of see basically did that in a couple days, 3 days. Um, in addition, I'm going through the gauntlet right now, and I'm doing a mini account because that's what I think a lot of people will want to do. And so for the mini account, you have to get 1750, and I'm on 4 days, and I'm basically up 1400. So another $200, and I will qualify for the gauntlet. Now you have to trade for 15 days, and one of the reasons I'm switching over to Earn to Trade is, and I am going to be putting out a video this week, probably this week or next week. Haven't really made my mind up. Probably this week about trading other people's money, Top Step, Earn to Trade, One Up Trading. But one of the reasons why I'm switching from to Earn to Trade from Top Step is that Earn to Trade has less rules. Top Step, bless their hearts, well, again, I got a video coming out. Watch that. But what you can see is past Top Step, about to pass Earn Trade, and so we're trying to put a room together for you guys to come hang out and try to help everybody pass these combines, gauntlets, whatever it is you're going through. Come on out, and that room's going to go around. We're supposed to be live now, but we thought it'd be best to go ahead and pass both of these before we go live. So the room's going to be going live on June 1st. Well, whatever the first week is in June, and it's going to be free. Just want to get people to come out, get a group of people together, come out, pass these combines, get some feedback, and then we'll come out with a better product. But as we go through sort of a testing period, the room is going to be free. So to get more information or to get on our list, we're just doing a list right now. We're asking people to come sign up for a list. So michaelglass.com / trading hyphen room. So don't forget that dash in there, trading room with that dash in there, and that will get you on our email list, and we will send you more information. Probably in the middle of May, we'll actually start sending people information about the room. It's going to be a Zoom room. Again, it's going to be free. Let's get people together, like-minded traders, and let's pass some combines. For those people, if you, as you just heard, I switched over to the gauntlet. Here's a great way to get to that. So michaelglass.com / gauntlet will get you to their program. And again, as I talked about earlier, if you want to learn about order flow, you want to learn about how to see inside the numbers, Trading Research Group, here's a great way to get to them. michaelglass.com / education.html will get you to their page. So, move up with Mike basically on all social media. On Facebook, we are Learn the Truth About Money. Please subscribe, hit that like button, helps us out on the YouTube analytics. I will see you guys next time.